make him the win?
Because he did. Navarrete won because he did something that nobody, not the smartest guys in the world, thought he could do, which is when you get down to it, when he had no right hand, he dominated the fight with a jab, and that's why that right eye shut up like it did. I mean, I never saw him use distance that well. I mean, I was just, to me, he's a great fighter because he has something that doesn't look like anyone else. You've never seen that. Like the first time you saw Pacquiao, like, what is this? The first time you saw Conor McGregor, that's not like the other guys. You know, the first time you see Ali, it's not like the other guys. I'm not saying he's them, but he's him. And you keep thinking like, he doesn't look like an athlete, he doesn't this, he doesn't that. It was a great night, like I thought it was cool that he came out with the Winchell's Donuts. He's got like the great Winchell donut body, but but ultimately the difference to me was the jab, and he controlled distance with that jab, and the way he stuck it out there. I mean, it was hard.
Do you think he'll get credit for that, Mark? All the craft you're talking about, or do we kind of
shit that we talk? Yeah, he should get credit. Yeah.
But is there that generalization as a Mexican warrior, and people kind of overlook the things you were talking about because of that?
If he doesn't get enough credit for it, it's because it's a sport. We screwed up so many times. People are like, oh yeah, it's boxing. I think that he will get credit within the circles. People care about boxing, where boxing is not diminished. Certainly in Mexico, right? People care about it here. Me, you. Yeah, I mean, you know. Listen, I thought that the relevant comparison, the pertinent fight was Kriegel. Big, long, awkward, boogeyman, and they both said, nah, that's not it. And the thing about Navarrete is, man, he's got a different rhythm, and I got to give Oscar credit. Like, I had Navarrete winning the first 4 rounds, and that's to me how long it took Oscar to catch up, like figure out, yo, where are these things coming from? And once he did figure out, it was a much closer fight. He adjusted, and then Navarrete adjusted again in the later rounds. I think it was 7 when it started to become clear something's wrong with his right hand. This dude threw 99 punches. You know, most of them bing, 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 and they were still hurting. So I've never really seen anything like that. And remember, this is a guy who started at 22. Top Rank brought him in there so he could lose the dog leg. How'd that work out?
All right, in your opinion, you have 4 different world title holders. Do you think Navarrete is the best 130 right now?
You're always biased after the last thing you saw.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. It's your job to put me on the spot. So you're biased after the last thing you saw. But to me, it was a pretty clean win. You know, however you want to discuss the judges' scores, no one was talking about Oscar made it that close. He made some adjustments. There were some interesting things. Both guys dealt with adversity. But after you win like that over Oscar Valdez, again, tore Berchelt up, ended his career. Yeah, I think he's the best career.
Just to switch.
But again, like, if the sport weren't screwed up, I'd like to see them all fight and you know, prove it.
So you think it's possible?
135, you feel, and it looks that good against other guys at 135?
Eventually, I mean, I'd like guys to clear out their own divisions before they jump around. It's no fun. What are you saying?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you think they should do it again? And then who do you think should be next for the winner of the fight?
I think that I wouldn't mind seeing them do it again with a good eye and a good hand. And I think you can make the argument that because the fight was much closer, after Valdez figured out, like, yo, where this stuff is coming from, you know, after the 4th round, it was a much closer fight. So yeah, I think you can sell a rematch. But I'd like to see him fight other champions. That's just,
Mark, just switching gears for a sec. The next big one coming up, Canelo and Charlo. Is that a competitive fight to you? Or
It's not, it doesn't have to be excited. Why? I mean,
Why aren't you excited?
because I have a champion at 168 fighting a champion at 154. I'm not, you know.
it worked out good when Duran fought Leonard, right?
But I don't see this as Duran and Leonard. I mean, you know, no disrespect, but you know, I just there are other fights. Would I rather? I'll tell you what. Would I rather see Charlo fight Crawford?
Over Ennis fighting Crawford?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
Me
think
too.
you've seen. I think it was Bomac who said Spence had a better shot when they first went up to welterweight. I think it's 2018.
Yeah.
I think
17 back in 2017.
I think that's largely no. I think it was 2018 when he fought Horn. But I think that's largely correct. But it does take time. I mean, would I mind seeing Crawford and Boots? Hell no. But would I much rather see Charlo and Crawford? Yeah. I also think, you know, in all fairness to the promotions and all of that stuff, we're also seeing why guys didn't want to fight Terrence.
Thanks, Mark.
Good. I'm flattered, fella.
There you go.